Dre reporting to you live from North Miami, North Miami, Florida, whatever you may call it. All right, South Beach, Florida, South Florida. You know what I'm saying? All right, so here we are. What is the third, fourth day of the government shutdown? Trump wants all funding for the wall. If he doesn't get his money for the wall, you know what I'm saying? Government's gonna stay shut down. The Democrats trying to impeach him. Democrats don't want to give him money. Blah 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 blah. Every time around this time around the holidays, Democrats and Senate don't agree and can't see eye to eye. So now, well, federal employees have to suffer the consequences. I mean, the average American doesn't really feel the effects of a government shutdown. I mean, like life goes on. You know, the TVs are still streaming, the chemtrails are still flying. You know, people are still poisoning their minds. People are still drinking sodium fluoridated chemicals and toxins. You know, people are still breathing poisonous air. You know, nothing really changes. You know, the show goes on, as they usually say. So here we are. Here we are, and there's just a few little things I would like to cover and make light of. So here we have Trump now. It's a lot of things happening at a very peculiar time, I should say. You know, and it's very intriguing to keep watch and pay attention to what's going on. So we got Mad Dog Mattis stepping down, resigning, resignation, whatever. You know, glory be to God. You know, warmongers. You know, getting tired of whatever. And then we got Trump ordering the withdrawal of all U.S. troops out of Syria. Now, I have said this, and I will say it again. If in fact all American troops are completely, totally, all around removed out of Syria, I will do 100 diamond push-ups on video and upload it. But honestly, I would literally have to go there and see it for myself. Or if Russia confirms it, like all U.S. troops have been totally removed and withdrawn from Syria, then I know it might be true, you know. But coming from our American sources and media news outlets or government officials, State Department, Department of Justice, Department of Defense, Central Intelligence, Pentagon, whoever, I doubt it. I mean, come on. We got military contractors. We got covert operators on the ground. We got, you know, mediators and, you know, intel, stations and border patrol securities on, northern Syria border and Turkey. And I don't know, man. I don't know. There's no way. I find it very hard to believe that we will completely and totally remove ourselves from Syria as a whole. Now, granted, you have Iranian forces there, Syrian forces backed by Russian forces as well, helping fight, extremism in the area or whatnot. Because, yeah, even though Trump has gone all around the world saying we have totally defeated ISIS, 85% of right-minded people know that that is false. And if they are defeated, Russia was probably more strategic and involved with that. But according to some sources or news outlets out there, it's still about 25 to 30,000 strong ISIS troops in the, Iraqi and Syrian area, and probably even in Afghanistan and Al Qaeda, all these different factions. So extremism will never ever go away. That's a fact. It just they find a safe haven somewhere else. Wherever they get pushed out, they sprout somewhere else. So you can never really stop extremism. So excuse me while I take a little bite of this rice. By the way, this is probably like the first like full meal I've eaten in probably in the last week. I spent 3 days in the hospital. I had acute pancreatitis. I'm 23. I got liver damage, and I'm not allowed to drink anymore, or alcohol at least. So my next drink of alcohol may very well be my last. So and thank you everybody for your prayers and your condolences and your kind, wishful, positive thoughts of energy and healing, because it brought me back home. So doctors ordered me to be on a nice small proportional diet, um, and just take it easy, and just get myself back to 100%. And yeah, I guess I went a little too excessively, too excessive and indulging in the last year and a half to 2 years. And it finally came back to bite me in the ass. So here I am back with you all. So yeah, let me get back to what I was talking about. U.S. withdrawal of troops from Syria. So now this is also happening around the same time when Turkey and Erdogan is going cool for Cocoa Puffs to invade northern Syria or start a military operation to, what I call to oppress and persecute the Kurdish people. Now, granted, if there's forces on the ground who are extremists or rebels or moderate rebels, being backed by U.S. Officials or troops or U.S. support or whatever, then Erdogan's like, yeah, I'm going after you, bozos. I want y'all gone, blah, blah, blah. But is this off of the approval of Damascus or Bashar al-Assad? Right? So it's like us removing ourselves. It's either we're removing ourselves from the line of crossfire or we're removing ourselves as the mediator or the wannabe mediator in that region between the Turks, the Kurds, and the Syrians and whoever. But like I said, Kurds are people without statehood. They're just fighting for their survival and their sovereignty. And I can understand if there's PKK or YPG or certain factions on the ground. You can't just go in here and demolish and execute villages of innocent people who are just trying to survive and be sovereign and be left alone. All right. If you look at it from that point of view, the entire Middle Eastern area from Syria to Iraq to Turkey is all Kurdistan. But that's for another video. So, all right. So what will we gain and benefit from withdrawing from Syria? All right, one, taxpayer dollars will not have to go support American imperialism and inhumane acts of war overseas. Two, Russia and Turkey may be more, more willing to, I guess, work with us or, be, comfortable with, meeting us halfway on certain things, especially Turkey. Turkey's a part of NATO, and I feel like Turkey just uses that as a privilege and takes advantage of it so they can spit in our face and shake our hands at the same time and be like, well, you can't do nothing about it because we're allies, so. And it's been to a point where, we can't really stop, Turkey from, oh yeah, y'all want to do that? Like, well, we can't tell you no. Like, the main reason Turkey's doing that is because of us. Because we were the ones that was going to establish a border security force at the northern Syria border with Turkey. Why? So that just alarmed Turkey and Erdogan to be like, oh yeah, bombs over Kurdistan. Let's go bomb the place because. So it's like, anyhow, I don't think Erdogan should go through with his idea or his military operation to, go after all Kurdish people. He should just, if you have extremist areas that you're fighting or that you're feeling you're being attacked from, or they're literally like, setting up terrorist attacks in Turkey and you're dealing with it as a constant problem, I understand that. But you're invading another sovereign land who's been trying to fight for its sovereignty since 2012 because of American imperialism and funding these rebel-backed groups. And now when we finally withdraw, it's like, that doesn't mean all hell is going to break loose because, granted, you still got Iranian forces and Russian forces there. And I feel like Russia is capable of being a good mediator in the Syrian territories between, the northern Syria border and Idlib and Turkey. There doesn't need to be bodies and desecration and, and war. It doesn't need to go on between regional people who could be partners. Turkey and Syria, it can be great partners together. Even though Turkey, Syria, and Iran and Russia are working together to regain like Syrian, I can't talk like I know it all. This is just from all observation. And from what I've been observing, the only thing that's been holding back from partnership in that strategic area is America. You feel me? So now with the removal of American troops, which they said, so-called, you feel me? Because I don't think it's still going to happen. Like, there's no way we're going to plant a garden here and be like, all right, we're leaving. We're not going to watch this garden anymore. No, like, we're going to stay there somehow, some way. Like, there's no way. Like, I don't know. I just can't put all my eggs in one basket with American foreign policy. I just can't do it. So here we are, December 26th. Happy birthday to my sister, Happy holidays, everybody else. And Mad Dog Madness is out. And if that's really the case, then we are going to see, a different type of strategic region. And this either means that we're giving up or we're having a different plan. Because even Mad Dog Madness said it himself. A war is never over until our enemy says it's over. You feel me? So we didn't just necessarily lose a war in Syria. We just lost or failed at trying to dismantle and destabilize Syria completely. So now it's to the point where either Trump is really trying to upset the deep state, or he's just, going along with the deep state's plans to that plan, because I feel like the military-industrial complex is hard to defeat, from the highest state to the deepest state. You feel me? Like, there's like really no defeating them. I feel like whatever their objective is, their main goal is to always accomplish the mission objective.
You warming up in that plate?
Yeah.
How is the sauce on it?
It's amazing.
It's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. Damn, it's already dark outside.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Lord.
So like I was saying, so let's say America just takes itself out of the spotlight for a moment, steps off the stage, but still goes in the background behind the curtains and still trying to be part of this, whatever's going on. For some reason, I feel like this is just a way to allow ourselves to be more unhinged with these false flag attacks in order to give us a reason to stay in Syria or to go back. So until then, I'm signing out. When we meet again, maybe we'll have funds for the wall, and the government will be restored back fully or whatever. But I refuse to believe that we are going to completely remove ourselves out of Syria. I refuse to believe it. I'm always going to be a skeptic when it comes to American foreign policy. All right? Question more. Kook, salute. And I'm out. How do you do this here? Okay.